Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Zoetic, and we're here with another episode of Lyric Breakdown. So check this out. All right, so for today's Lyric Breakdown, I'm gonna be talking about a song from my first R&B album. It's called "Going the Wrong Way," and there's a song on there, one in particular that's one of my favorites in my catalog. It's called "The Shadows." So before I get into it, I should kind of put into context what "The Shadows" is. The Shadows is it's kind of a more, not really R&B. It's kind of more on the alternative, I guess, like rockish side. You know what I'm saying? But it's still got a touch of R&B in there and a touch of hip hop because that's just how I do it. It's a song that I wrote in a really dark time. Kind of the same way I wrote Gold, and it's just a really like cinematic song. I was really trying to describe like a nightmare, I guess, because that's kind of how I guess my life was feeling at that point. But it's really cool, man. It's a sound and it's a direction that I think I'm gonna try to lean into a little bit more into the future. So stay tuned, and we'll see what comes up with that. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the lyrics. All right, so first off, we start with I see the darkness reign in the shadows. Fakeness around me start to unravel. I hear the footsteps running in the gravel, but this ain't a movie. I can't change the channel. So that's the first verse. And like I said, I'm really just kind of describing, a nightmare, cinematic experience that's like dark and scary, but something that you can't escape. Feels like you're trapped, kind of. So, like I said in the last bar, this ain't a movie, I can't change the channel, even though I'm describing what would be like a cinematic, nightmarish experience, but it's real life, or at least what I'm seeing at the time or feeling at the time. It's really descriptive. I think that's where a lot of my experience writing rap lyrics comes. I'm able to kind of translate that into a different setting, like I don't know if I would be able to describe the same type of feeling in a rap song, so this is a different experience. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the hook here. I just can't get shit right, and I don't know if I ever will. I just can't get shit right, gotta tell them how I really feel. I just can't get shit right, solve my problems with another pill. I just can't get shit right, and I don't know if I ever will. So yeah, I'm just kind of basically just putting it out there how I feel and how I think life is going for me at the time. I never really popped pills, it's not really something I've ever done, but specifically at that time I was definitely drinking a lot. So, I was coping with substances and just, it's just an unhealthy way to try to escape from reality and what you're feeling. And I just think, it translates to any substance really. So that's just kind of how I was feeling at the time. Things were bad, felt like things couldn't get any better basically. But in the next verse, there's hope. So let's go ahead and get into it. I know it don't get no easier, but I promise you'll get better if you keep it up. I know all about the pressure that you're speaking of, and I could tell before you say it what you're thinking of. So this is kind of just me talking to myself, basically, just telling myself to keep going. And it's kind of like a grass is greener mentality, but in this case, it was true. Just keep going and things will get better. See things out and persevere. But yeah, it's pretty much just me telling me to keep going and don't stop. It shows. You could tell I'm playing dumb. Look at myself, wondering what the fuck have I become. I'm searching high and low, looking for any trace of sun. I wonder if they blame me if I wanted to just run. So yeah, just more of the idea of trying to escape, trying to get away from this feeling and this darkness, I guess, the shadows, that's what it's called. And I guess, searching for sun, that's kind of like the whole, because we're in darkness, we're in the shadows. Things are gloomy. It's hard to see the future, you know what I'm saying? So I think that was really what I was trying to convey here, man. And it's just like I said, piggybacking off of what Gold was, and honestly in my whole catalog, you kind of got to context into it. I think every album up until now that I've dropped there's always been like a problem, you know, there's always been a struggle, there's always been something to get over, basically. And I think with this new album, my new R&B album, In Plain Sight, October 5th, will be out everywhere. I think this is the first album where there's no problem, you know, there's no struggle, there's no like darkness, you know, it's kind of like a happy album, kind of, you know, even though there's still ups and downs, you know, because that's just how we are as human beings. So that's kind of what I want art to reflect. And I also kind of treat all of these albums like, I kind of treat them like novels, right? Like every album is a new story in this character, me. It's a new story in the life, basically. And, you know, I think I've created a musical universe where the character can blend in any type of music, basically. So, like I said, just this is really a sound and a style that I would like to evolve more and shape a little bit more, you know, a little bit more alternative, a little bit more rock leaning. You guys know I'm into a lot of different styles, so you never know what could be next. So that's gonna do it for today. This lyric breakdown. I really appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. It really means a lot. Appreciate everybody's support. Check out the new single, One Take, available everywhere now. The album, like I said, coming October 5th. So, In Plain Sight. I appreciate you guys. I'll talk to y'all later.